Babygirl is directed by Helena Rain and stars Nicole Kidman as a high-powered CEO who puts her life on the line when she meets an intern played by Harris Dickinson, and what happens when a relationship between the two go awry. Let's just say that sex in movies is back. You look at the release of Challengers and this and even Queer, and you instantly just think that 2024 has been an instantly unforgettable year for sex in film. But out of all of the films that have released this year about the subject of sex and domination, I think that Babygirl is one of the more interesting versions of that. Nicole Kidman knocks it out of the park. I think that she has a very domineering edge to her. You see her character and you're instantly just enamored by all of the intricacies of her movements. She's married to Antonio Banderas and she doesn't feel like she's getting enough in that marriage, so she decides to do this entire thing, which kind of comes into play when Harris Dickinson, who is also really great in the film, decides to, well, start this relationship. But I wouldn't even call it a relationship of trust or love. I call it a relationship of domination, because the whole idea is that Harris Dickinson is there to control her. It's gender dynamics in relationships that we are used to, told from the perspective of the woman in this case. And I think the film does a fantastic job at telling that, and also just making me uncomfortable, like downright uncomfortable. There are some scenes in here involving milk, which, yeah, put me off eating cereal for a while. But that's the point, it's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable, and Helena Rain does a fantastic job of trying to make the audience squirm in their seats, quite frankly, because putting the audience in this awkward position of who is really in the wrong here, that is something which is undefined, and it's something that we don't really get very often in films, especially about the subject of sex, which is helped by the performances of which I did mention. But I think one of my favorite performances is Antonio Banderas, because he does something a lot different to what he's used to. Usually he plays the sweet talking stoic man, but here, he has a vulnerable side to him. You can tell that he's dealing with a lot of anger and a lot of stress, not just in his relationship, but with his job too. There's a panic attack sequence, which, wow, that was very relatable. He sells the part, basically. He sells the role. The score thumps through the speakers. I really enjoyed the harmonic score that the film has. It's like little whispers in the corners of which you're like, oh, This is kind of scary, actually. And the same with the edit. I think the edit is extremely tight with the way of which it cuts around these sex scenes and cuts around the idea of the domination at play. This does remind me a lot of, say, Sanctuary, a film from last year which I really loved, where you're kind of questioning who is really in control. Is it the man? Is it the woman in a relationship? And is it a relationship built on trust or love? Or is it just lust rather than anything else? Because lust isn't necessarily love, it's rather just the idea of it, and that's what Babygirl dissects. It's a pretty scathing critique of sex and the ways in which we as humans interact with each other in regards to intimacy, helped by performances of which really nail the ideas that it's trying to tell. I think Helena Rain has something on her hands here which a lot of people are going to talk about. It is a very interesting conversation starter, that's for sure. I think the third act kind of loses me when the plot gets going, which is a bit of an issue, but it does manage to pick itself up again in the final closing minutes, which, yeah, those final minutes were definitely something. Definitely check out Babygirl. I think that Helena Rain uses the idea of sex to put across something pretty important. I hate saying that title out loud, so I'm gonna stop saying the title. The performances are great. I think the edit is airtight. The intimacy is definitely steamy. It's pretty hard to watch at points, but that's the point, and I really admired that. And hey, that's what I gotta say about Babygirl. Thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me down below what you want to see from me next, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.